The Interpreter of Maladies by Jhumpa Lahiri. The Interpreter of Maladies by Jhumpa Lahiri is a collection of 9 short stories that explores the lives of Indian Americans and their experiences of cultural displacement and longing. Set in both India and the United States, the stories are connected by themes of love, loss, and the search for belonging. From a young couple struggling to find their place in a new country to an elderly man grappling with the memories of his past, each story offers a poignant and intimate portrait of its characters. Through her richly drawn characters and evocative prose, Lahiri paints a vivid picture of the complexities of the immigrant experience and the universal human desire for connection and understanding. Overall, The Interpreter of Maladies is a powerful and moving collection that has earned Lahiri critical acclaim and a dedicated following of readers. The Interpreter of Maladies is a collection of 9 short stories that delve into the lives of Indian Americans as they navigate the complexities of cultural displacement and the search for belonging. The stories are set in both India and the United States, and each one offers a unique and intimate portrait of its characters. The first story, A Temporary Matter, follows a young couple, Shobha and Shukumar, as they struggle to connect in the wake of a devastating loss. Through the course of 1 week, they share confessions and secrets during a series of nightly blackouts that reveal the emotional distance between them. The second story, When Mr. Pirzada Came to Dine, is set during the Bangladesh War of Independence and follows a young girl named Leela as she forms a bond with a Pakistani man who comes to dinner at her family's home. Through their conversations, Leela gains a new understanding of the complexities of the world around her. The third story, Interpreter of Maladies, centers around Mr. Kapasi, a tour guide who becomes the interpreter for an Indian-American couple on vacation in India. As he listens to their marital troubles, Mr. Kapasi reflects on his own unhappy marriage and his unfulfilled dreams. The fourth story, A Real Derwin, is a tragic tale of a destitute woman named Bori Ma who serves as a watchman in a Calcutta apartment building. Her past and her current circumstances are revealed through her stories and the memories of the residents of the building, but ultimately she is betrayed and cast out. The fifth story, Sexy, follows a young woman named Miranda as she comes to terms with her attraction to an Indian man named Dev. As she tries to reconcile her feelings with the expectations of her family and friends, Miranda realizes that her perception of Dev may be based on her own cultural biases. The sixth story, Mrs. Sen's, explores the loneliness and isolation of an Indian woman who has moved to America with her husband. As she struggles to adapt to a new country and make friends, Mrs. Senator forms a bond with a young boy named Elliot. The seventh story, This Blessed House, follows newlyweds Sanjeev and Twinkle as they move into a new home and discover a series of Christian artifacts left behind by the previous owners. As they struggle to find a compromise between their different beliefs and cultural backgrounds, the couple's relationship is tested. The eighth story, The Treatment of Bibi Haldar, is a haunting tale of a woman afflicted with an unknown illness that causes her skin to peel off. As she seeks a cure and a way to escape the ridicule of her community, Bibi Haldar discovers a newfound sense of freedom. The final story, The Third and Final Continent, tells the story of a man who moves from India to London and then to America, where he meets his wife and begins a new life. Through his experiences, the narrator reflects on the interconnectedness of people and the importance of understanding and compassion. Throughout the collection, Lahiri's prose is rich and evocative, immersing the reader in the sights, sounds, and smells of India and America. She portrays her characters with empathy and sensitivity, delving into their inner lives and revealing the complexities of their emotions and relationships. The stories also explore broader themes such as the impact of colonialism, the clash of cultures, and the search for identity and belonging. In addition to its critical acclaim, The Interpreter of Maladies has been praised for its accessibility and universal appeal. It has been translated into over 30 languages and has won numerous awards, including the Pulitzer Prize for Fiction in 2000. Overall, The Interpreter of Maladies is a powerful and poignant collection that offers a window into the lives of Indian Americans and the struggles they face in navigating their identities and relationships. With its beautifully rendered prose and empathetic portrayal of its characters, it is a book that will stay with readers long after they have turned the final page. Here is a character summary of The Interpreter of Maladies by Jhumpa Lahiri. Shobha and Shukumar, a couple in A Temporary Matter, who are dealing with the aftermath of a stillborn child and are struggling to communicate with each other. Mr. Pirzada, a Pakistani man who comes to dinner at Lilia's family's home in When Mr. Pirzada Came to Dine. He forms a bond with Lilia and teaches her about his homeland. Lilia, the young girl in When Mr. Pirzada Came to Dine, who is fascinated by Mr. Pirzada and learns about the history of Bangladesh. Mr. Kapasi, the tour guide in Interpreter of Maladies, who serves as the interpreter for an Indian-American couple on vacation in India. He is reflective and introspective, thinking about his own life and relationships. Mrs. Das, the wife in Interpreter of Maladies, who is dissatisfied with her life and marriage, and has a secret that she shares with Mr. Kapasi. Bori Ma, the destitute woman who serves as a watchman in a Calcutta apartment building in A Real Derwin. She is proud and resourceful, but ultimately betrayed by the residents she serves. Miranda, the protagonist of Sexy, a young woman who is attracted to an Indian man named Dev. She is conflicted between her feelings and the expectations of her family and friends. Mrs. Sen, the Indian woman in Mrs. Sen's, who has moved to America with her husband and struggles to adapt to a new culture. She is lonely and isolated, but forms a bond with a young boy named Elliot. Elliot, the young boy in Mrs. Sen's, who befriends Mrs. Senator and helps her adjust to life in America. Each character in The Interpreter of Maladies is complex and nuanced, struggling with their own internal conflicts and external pressures as they navigate the complexities of cultural displacement and the search for belonging. Please subscribe our channel.